Okay.
Yeah. So Jay, we're talking about it. It's a year in review, but also with that same token is that what does the next year bring? So if you want to just give us an idea as to what North Bay and the area has seen in terms of prosperity and what you hope to bring in the future.
Well, we want to build on what we've done for 2012. Last year, I think, was my first year. I was privileged enough to have the Prime Minister here. I've developed relationships with not only the Prime Minister but the Cabinet, and you know, we've had 8 Cabinet Ministers in North Bay for various announcements. We've had a record amount of announcements. I think all told within the last year and a half we're at about $87 million. A lot of that money is FedNor money, so what I want to do is to keep up the relationships. And what we've done is, as last year, we've kind of built a strategic plan as to where we want to go. And we've got basically probably a 25-point strategic plan for the whole riding. The riding's big. Probably, I guess, a good portion of that is the North Bay region, being the largest municipality. So we've got a number of things that we're focused on. My business and economic development background says that you have to have a strategic plan. That's the way I've operated all my life. If you want to get, I said in running for this position, I wanted to get results for the riding. And in order to do that, you have to have a plan. You have to know where you're going. So we have the plan, the overall plan for Nipissing-Temiskaming. We have, within that segment, we have a segment for North Bay and area. And some of the things that we want to do, of course, Ontario Northland and the New Deal for Northern Ontario is primary. The proponents have come to me. I've given my full support. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it's a brilliant proposal, and I'm going to work with these people. We need to retain Ontario Northland for the 600 or 700 jobs that are here. It's important to our economy. It's taken over 100 years to build that, and we don't want to lose it overnight. And I'm going to work very hard to support and promote the New Deal for Northern Ontario. What we have is very exciting. It's not only exciting for Ontario Northland, it's exciting for Northern Ontario, because basically this is a catalyst really to develop a plan for Northern Ontario. We have the biggest mineral development in terms of the Ring of Fire in northwestern Ontario, and this plan essentially links the expertise and the experience of Ontario Northland with that Ring of Fire. Setting up a port authority will provide the necessary structure, and Ontario Northland will be a component, a very strong component in that overall structure, a strong component in terms of rail and telecom. So that's job one for sure, retain those jobs, and I believe long term grow those jobs, because the Ring of Fire is going to be one of the Ring of Fire to Northern Ontario and to Ontario is like the oil sands to Alberta. It's going to provide a lot of jobs, a lot of economic opportunity long term. So that's job one. Another priority, of course, is Memorial Gardens is 50 years old. It needs refurbishment. We need a conference center to bring people to North Bay. I am very enthused, and again, the battalion coming to North Bay is a catalyst for us to get involved and us to provide help as a partner to fix up the gardens. 50 years old, and we're going to do that. I'm talking with the minister weekly about that, and we want to become a very viable partner in that. So that's a priority. In addition, infrastructure-wise, I guess I'm known as the dam specialist in Ottawa because I brought 2 dams to this riding, the complete refurbishment, replacement of 2 dams, Latchford Dam, which they've waited for over 20 years, and just recently the Temiskaming Dam. I'm now working on a 3rd dam, which is closer to North Bay and our area. It's the Chaudière Dam, and it's responsible for water levels and the watershed. And so we're working very hard on getting that infrastructure program and project rather, and that will provide jobs and economic activity. I'm also in terms of strategy, I want to be strategic. I ran for the vice chair of the newly formed Aerospace Caucus. People will know that we have a small aerospace center in North Bay, 200 to 300 jobs. It's not a big center, but the good thing about it is we have the capacity to grow. We have a lot of space up there, and we have Canada College, and Canada College have, of course, their aerospace maintenance center, and I see that as a great opportunity for growth. So I've got involved as vice chairman of the Aerospace Caucus in Parliament. We're going to be traveling to Montreal. We're going to be traveling to Toronto. What's important about that is the Emerson report has just been released as of the end of November, and the Emerson report is a report saying where are we in Canada with aerospace. We're 5th in the world in terms of what it means to the economy. We're 5th in the world, and we want to maintain that 5th position, and we want to grow it. And so Canada wants to grow aerospace. I want to grow aerospace in North Bay, and that's why I'm involved in that. So I see, I'm working with the companies up there. I'm working with Bombardier, and I see some growth in terms of jobs there. Looking at other areas, I'm working hand in hand with Nipissing University towards a major project. A lot of people don't know this in our community, but Nipissing, and certainly I didn't know it before I became the member, Nipissing University is probably #1 or close to the top in terms of Aboriginal education, post-secondary Aboriginal education. They've grown this program over the past 10 years, and Nipissing University they want to expand, and with the challenges these days in terms of Aboriginals in Canada and Aboriginal education, I want to see what I can do to link that up with federal opportunities in that area. So I've been working very closely with the interim president, and will be working closely with the new president and the chancellor on those kinds of opportunities. Waterfront, we're working on a study. I hope to announce very shortly a study that will kind of take a look at what we can do to enhance the waterfront in terms of attractions, and I'm looking for that direction, that strategic direction, which will provide more funding for the waterfront. I regard the waterfront as a tremendous asset for this city. I worked long and hard to try and get a destination attraction. For 12 years I was chairman of the Passage North destination attraction. We didn't get Passage North, but we got the waterfront, we got the lands, and now it's time to really morph that into the tremendous asset that it is in attracting people to the community. So I see that as a golden opportunity. All the while we're working hand in hand with the council and the municipal office. You don't do these things in isolation. You work hand in hand with the municipal office. Also aligned with the aerospace, we provided money to develop the airport business park, and I see new businesses, the opportunity for new businesses to come to North Bay to utilize that space. It's adjacent to the airport, and that's where the growth is these days, in business parks that are adjacent to airports. I personally, we've set a target in this office of looking at 24, at least a couple of dozen businesses that we're either going to create or help grow this year. As you know, one of the members of my staff has a economic business development background like myself, and we'd like to work hand in hand with the business community to see what kind of opportunities they can hook on to grow their business, or in a lot of cases establish new businesses in the business park. So another opportunity that I'd like to crack, and this is probably a little longer term because this involves quite a bit of spade work, and that is an opportunity for SAGE, the SAGE development, which we affectionately call the whole. SAGE is the semi-automatic ground environment, which was the old NORAD surveillance facility. Well, I see that as a tremendous opportunity, and the fact of the matter is it's costing the federal government $1 million to $1.5 million to keep that facility running. That's a liability on the federal government's books, and I'd like to see that liability turned into an asset, and with some type of opportunity that will grow jobs. But that's a much longer term project. So in a nutshell, I guess my strategic plan for 2013 is to again be consistent with the federal government. It's focused on jobs, it's focused on growing the economy, it's focused on long-term prosperity for not only North Bay, but North Bay and the region.